Hi everyone, warm welcome to all. On 18th of February, just after the solar eclipse, we enter one of the most defining transit of this year, that is Pluto moving into Shravan Nakshatra. Moon's Nakshatra and beginning of 8-year long ongoing transformation till 2034. This is not a small shift. This is the kind of transit that changes what we cannot go back to. Pluto brings deep change. It's a generational planet who brings transformation through endings, truth, exposure, death, and rebirth. And now Pluto is entering Shravan Nakshatra, a nakshatra that works through our mind, our feelings, emotions, our nervous system, and the subtle world of what we listen to, what we hear, what we absorb out of it, and then carry inside us. Expect major transformation in the house where Cancer sign is placed in our chart. And not just that, Pluto will also enter into Aries Navamsha along with this. Pluto will be in Shravan Nakshatra, Moon's Nakshatra, after 54 years, and in Aries Navamsha after 21 years. Previously, Pluto was in Virgo and Hasta Nakshatra in 1971, and then in Aries Navamsha, while in Sagittarius, when Pluto was transiting through Moola Nakshatra, Ketu's Nakshatra in 2005. See how your life changed from there. This is to have an idea of what we can expect from this transit. Do reflect back to your 2018 when Pluto was in Uttarashada and notice what has transformed in the area of your Leo placement, Sun's placement, since Sun is the Lord of Uttarashada. Maybe your identity, your public image, confidence, your creativity, or the way you express yourself must have changed in some manner. See, Pluto never wastes time. It transforms what is essential for us. We had COVID and the entire world transformed. Now with Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, the Cancer sign placement in our chart will be impacted the most along with Moon in our chart. Here Pluto also has aspect on this Cancer sign. Earlier Pluto was 8th from Leo sign. Now emotional security, our home, vehicle, land related matters, our roots, comfort, the nourishment in our life and the stability of all these can be impacted the most. Pluto in Shravana will start to transform or reshape all these things and our emotional dependency of all this. It can transform our family patterns and our emotional inheritance, and Pluto exposes what has been buried for generations, and that can lead to some powerful emotional restructuring. Some people will simplify their life, some will relocate or will redefine their family bonds, some will break old attachment patterns, and finally stop carrying other people's emotional weight on them. And in the highest form, Pluto in Shravana can create a new kind of safety, comfort, not created by any control, but safety created by emotional maturity. Basically, our living style can change. Shravan is the nakshatra of listening, learning, receiving guidance from others, and becoming wise through what we absorb. And the symbol is the ear. It has energy of education, study, spiritual teaching, mentorships, our scriptures, and also the subtle influence of words. is what we repeatedly hear from somebody, from something that becomes our inner reality. Shravan also is connected to the footprints, showing the idea of following our destined path. It's like following our lineage, receiving knowledge from elders, and choosing a road that leads to maturity. The deity of Shravan is the Lord Vishnu, the preserver, the one who protects dharma, restores balances, and keeps life from falling into chaos. So, Shravan is all about knowledge that preserves, stabilizes, and what keeps us aligned with our higher path. The Shakti or the spiritual power behind Shravan is the power of connection and listening, the ability to receive right message at the right time. It is the most divine guidance arriving through omens, sound, our teachers, or through some subtle signs from the nature. Planet in Shravana Nakshatra that shapes our mental patterns, how we process life, we feel safe, we react, and what we emotionally dependent on. Now imagine Pluto entering in this space of Shravan Nakshatra. Pluto's nature is very intense. Pluto reveals hidden truth and forces emotional detox. Pluto removes what is false, what is outdated, manipulated, or psychologically heavy on us. So, with Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, the transformation happens through emotions, our mind, our voice, through hearing and learning out of it. One of the first changes we may feel is a sudden intolerance of noise. We may lose interest in shallow conversations, confusing information, any gossip, or emotional manipulation through words. We may start protecting our mind as Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra will purify our emotional side. Do keep in mind that we also have Saturn Neptune conjunction during this time. So there is a reality check for sure. And it becomes very obvious what is weakening us mentally and emotionally with this. And also what teaching, what talks, or who as our mentor or the environment actually nourishing us. See, Shravan is mentor linked. Its connection is directly with a mentor, and Pluto doesn't allow any blind following. So during this transit, we may experience some disappointments with certain systems, teachers, institutes, or some belief structures, especially if they are built on dependency, fear, or just their image. As Pluto will only allow the guidance that strengthens our soul and is good for us. This is only why Shravan is ruled by Lord Vishnu. Vishnu preserves what is truthful and aligned with our soul, and Pluto removes what is not aligned. So it becomes very karmic filtering period for us. Secondly, Shravana means the ear, listening. What we absorb begins to change what we speak now. It can remove people pleasing speech now. Pluto in Shravan can make our words sharp, deep, and truthful. It can remove the need to explain ourselves to everyone. And it can also create a new kind of authority where our voice carries impact, even when we speak less. Secondly, with Shravan Nakshatra, Pluto is also entering in Aries Navamsha. Navamsha generally indicates the internal impact of the planet, the strength of the planet. And Aries Navamsha changes the style completely from the previous Pisces Navamsha. Aries is very direct, eye focused. Aries is initiation, it is courage. So Pluto in Aries Navamsha will change and make us internally strong and bold. We may see more enough is enough moments, more boundary setting, cutting away of emotional dependency, and insistence on independence, emotional or even psychological. This is the higher purpose of Aries Navamsha. Do remember your 2005, that time, and the new beginning that happened internally mainly. Shravana says, listen deeply, learn what is true. And Aries Navamsha says, now act on what you have learned. So this transit is not passive. Here, knowledge is becoming our action. And yes, Aries Navamsha can also bring intensity, impulse, impatience, anger that was suppressed for years. But if we use it consciously, it can become our courage, gives us strength to walk away from what keeps us weak. Now, before all these happens, we will experience closure of Leo and Uttarashada impact of Pluto's transit. Pluto has been in Uttarashada nakshatra since 2018, and that means for years we have been under a very specific transformation connected to the sun, Uttarashada nakshatra, and the Leo sign. Uttarashada is all about victory, authority, dharma, our long term responsibility, and earned success. So, Pluto in Uttarashada has been testing all these significations and the significations of Sun also, like our identity, visibility, leadership quality, creativity, our pride, recognition in life, or the need to feel respected. Do reflect on any changes in these matters since 2018 with Leo placement in your chart. When we matured through pressure, and in many cases, pride was broken so that our heart could become stronger. Retrograde Pluto from August 2026 to December 2026 will give some final, lasting, and concluding impact of Uttarashada and Pisces Navamsha in our chart. Watch and act wisely with acceptance to any changes that Pluto is bringing here. This is one of the significant timeline of 2026 that can change everything. Pisces Navamsha brings a dissolving, spiritual and surrendering tone, releasing tone. So that concluding phase becomes less about power and proving and more about release and purification. This is why this end of the year, Pluto's transit can feel like a deep inner closure that changes everything. Let us see how this Pluto in Shravan nakshatra will be for us personally. And do check Capricorn and Cancer axis for the impact for future, and Sun and Leo sign and that placement in our chart for some lasting change. Start with Aries. For Aries, this is a major karmic home and family cleansing. Deep ancestral patterns can be healed here. Your definition of home changes from emotional attachment to emotional safety that is built from within. And with this transit, your pride and the need to shine undergo some final refinement, some final correction. You will stop creating anything for just praise, but for real, for truth. Romance, children, or creative projects can be more heartfelt now and enduring in your life. Taurus, a deep karmic cycle linked to family, your emotional roots, or parental authority completes here. Old power struggles at your home can dissolve now. You emerge with a quiet inner strength and a refined sense of emotional safety. Now it is the time to transform your thinking pattern, your communication style, and your emotional reactions. You will be more conscious of what you listen to and how you speak. Any mental clutter clears here, allowing for some purposeful expression and emotional clarity for you. Gemini, the way you speak, assert ideas, and express yourself matures and get better with time. You no longer feel the need to dominate conversations or prove your intelligence here. Your words carry authority because they are measured and they are wise now. With Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, emotional security linked to money, your family values, your mother, and self worth undergoes deep restructuring. You release your inherited fears around your survival, any scarcity. A quieter and more stable sense of worth replaces any emotional dependency here. Cancer. Pluto will give you deep lessons around your family, your self worth, money, and values. You will now stop comparing your confidence with your possessions or anyone's approval. Financial and emotional stability now comes from inner security more rather than just external proof. Pluto in Shravana now is a profound identity transformation. This time can reshape how you emotionally experience yourself. Old self image based on any fear or protection dissolves. You will emerge more emotionally wise, grounded, and self aware. Leo, a long chapter of image or any pressure of image building concludes with this transit. You release the need to project strength or any authority constantly. What remains is a calmer, more authentic self confidence, one that no longer seeks any validation just to feel powerful here. Pluto in Shravan is a subtle but powerful subconscious cleansing for you. Your old emotional memories and fears can have some karmic release. Listening to inner silence becomes healing now, and your spiritual surrender deepens with time. Virgo, a subtle but profound ego release takes place with this. Your hidden fears around visibility, control, or surrender dissolves. You step into a quieter spiritual strength and no longer fear losing your light. With Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, your friendships, networks, your future goals and desires will transform. You will detach from emotionally draining network. A smaller emotionally aligned circle replaces any superficial connections with this transit. Libra, power struggles within your friendships, network, and long term goals or desires can complete a karmic cycle with this transit. You will detach from status based associations. Your circle becomes more selective, meaningful, and soul aligned. With Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, your public image and your career undergo emotional restructuring. You will stop seeking any emotional security through status alone. Your authority develops through emotional maturity and credibility rather than any control freak ideas. Scorpio, this is a major closure around your career, your reputation, and public authority. Old ambitions rooted in recognition fall away. Leadership becomes ethical, substantial, and aligned with inner purpose rather than just showing your image. With Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, your belief system shaped by emotional conditioning can be questioned by you. You will listen less to old philosophies and more to your inner truth. Your faith becomes strong here and emotionally integrated, not just taught by others. Sagittarius, your belief systems, moral authority, and life philosophies changes deeply with this. You no longer need to defend your truth loudly. Your wisdom becomes visible and not just preached. Your faith becomes steady rather than just showing. And now, with Pluto in Shravan, is deep emotional and psychological detox for you. Your hidden fears, trauma, and attachment to control can come up for release now. Truth and trust replaces your emotional defensiveness, allowing the real inner transformation. Capricorn, deep fears around control, any fear of loss or emotional vulnerability finally weakens from your life. Pluto's concluding impact of Leo, your 8th house, brings acceptance and trust in your life. You stop guarding power and allow true transformation through emotional honesty here. With Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, your relationship patterns undergo powerful emotional reset here. You will stop projecting emotional needs onto your partners. Rather, your listening improves. Your emotional manipulation fades, and new connections can become deeper and more honest. Aquarius, relationship power struggles reach closure here. You release the need to dominate or seek validation through your partners. What remains is a more equal, respectful approach to commitment and your shared authority with your partner. And Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra can transform your emotional stress that was stored in your daily routine, your work, and your health patterns. You can become more aware of how emotions affect your body. Healing will begin through disciplined emotional listening and better boundaries in your life. Pisces, Pluto will end your years of over control in your work, in your health, or in your daily responsibilities. You no longer feel compelled to prove worth through service or struggle only. A healthier relationship with discipline and self care settles here. Now, with Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra, your emotional expression through creativity, love, and children can reset. You will stop seeking any emotional validation through attention. Your joy becomes more authentic, less dramatic, and rooted in emotional truth now. That was all about the personal impact for all the signs. And to summarize, Pluto in Shravan will change what we emotionally get dependent on and then rebuilds a stronger inner home, inner heart. This is the best time to be careful about what we repeatedly listen to. Protect our mental health and choose the voices that strengthen us. If any fear, grief, anger, or any old memories rise, take it as a detox only. Act with courage here and rebuild emotional security from within. Not by controlling people, not by holding on tightly anything, but by becoming emotionally free, steady, nourished, and mature. So, yes, this is a major transit. And by the time this transit completes, by end of 2034, the person you will become emotionally, mentally, and spiritually will not be the same ever again. That was all about this significant transit of Pluto in Shravan Nakshatra. I hope this was helpful. Best wishes to everyone with this transit. Thank you for your time. Do share your experience in the comments and stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.